my criticism of what your government is doing in Gaza, which, by the way, is a view. Hang on, I'll finish my question, which is a criticism shared by many of Israel's allies, by at least two of your former prime ministers now. So I'm not alone in that criticism. Many people think what you've been doing in Gaza in the last few months constitutes war crimes. And we've seen from one of your colleagues, the Finance Minister Smotrich, that the big plan, as far as he's concerned, is not actually getting hostages back or defeating Hamas, but clearing all Palestinians out of Gaza. Now, I'm just curious why me criticising your government for things like that and for what people like Smotrich are saying constitutes anti-Semitism.
No. So let me be very accurate. As I mentioned before, I never said that you are anti-Semitic.
Yeah, you did.
I did say
you did. You implied it, and I was immediately bombarded on X and other social media platforms I can tell you, thousands of people calling me anti-Semitic and a Jew hater because you decided to fuel that sentiment. Well, you did.
Look, whether you are or you're not, that's, you know, that's in your heart.
I am. When have I ever been anti-Semitic?
Look, I think,
why don't you tell me, when have I been anti-Semitic? As you know, I've had people on from both sides of this war for the entire time, many of whom have expressed very controversial views. And when they have, be it Candace Owens, Dan Bilzerian, people on the pro-Palestinian side, people on the pro-Israeli side, on the more extremist side, I've held them all to account. I've questioned every time I've heard something I don't like. What I want to know from you is, why do you think, as an Israeli minister, you can fuel people on social media viewing me as an anti-Semitic person or somebody who hates Jews? I'm really curious about that. Is it because I dare to criticise what the Israeli government is now doing in Gaza?
I think there is no problem. There is no problem with criticising what's happening in Gaza. You can criticise whenever you want. But the fact is that your platform became recently the main platform for Holocaust deniers.
Absolute
the main
nonsense.
Platform
Absolute, categorical, weapons-grade nonsense.
Dan Bilzerian is a Holocaust denier. That just means you've never watched it. Candace Owens, this week, she said that Mengele never made these experiments, these horrific experiments in Auschwitz. Spreading conspiracy theories. So I think you have responsibility, and you can be much more, much more fair, and to bring
so you don't think I've been fair to Israel
to discuss these issues.
So in the last 18 months, you don't think I've... Just to be clear, you don't think I've been fair to Israel since this war started?
Look, I said at the beginning, I thought you were fair. Regarding Iran, I thought you were fair. Regarding, let's take an example. Your tweet about the hospitals, okay? That you shared the Fox News man who said that we need to protect hospitals in Gaza and in Israel after a ballistic missile from Iran
one of the best reporters
landed at the heart of an hospitals. Yeah, okay. So I'm saying you never mentioned that these hospitals in Gaza, and let me give you some examples. Shifa hospitals were the main headquarters of Hamas.
How many of the hospitals that you've destroyed were Hamas run? How many? Give me a number. Give me a number.
I'm giving you a few examples.
No, don't give me a few.
Shifa hospitals.
Don't give me a few, because more than half of all the hospitals in Gaza have been destroyed. Many others are almost irreparably damaged. How many of those, in your estimation, as a government minister...
In order that we can have a fair interview, you need to...
How many of those were Hamas run? Give me a number.
I'm giving you a number, and I'm giving you a few examples. Shifa Hospital, which is the main hospital, by the way, is still functioning, despite the fact that it was a terror base. And when we raided the hospitals, 200 terrorists were arrested in Shifa Hospital. In Kamel Adwan hospitals in Jabalia, 240 terrorists were arrested in the hospitals.
So they're all terrorist camps?
In the European hospital...
Just to be clear, are they all terrorist camps?
Most of the hospitals in northern Gaza,
so all the hospitals in Gaza are terror camps. So where do people go to get treated?
By Hamas.
If they're all terror camps, where do they get treated?
Were used by Hamas. Israel didn't try to destroy the hospitals. On the contrary, she sent troops, infantry, to aid these hospitals.
So how did half of the hospitals get destroyed?
Cases, during the clashes with the terrorists, obviously, and also with the European hospitals, we needed to close the entrance to the bunker of Muhammad Sinawar, the head of Hamas,
why should I,
who was hiding beneath the hospital.
How can I believe
and the fact is,
well, hang on, Minister.
Okay,
listen, you're doing what many of the ministers have been doing in recent months. You basically cast doubt over everything which reflects negatively on the Israeli government war strategy, to which I say there is one very simple way that you can get independent verification of all the things you're saying, that all the hospitals were Hamas terror camps, that every story you read of is IDF making mistakes, killing people when they shouldn't have done, and the rest of it. All of that, apparently, these are all just terrible mistakes, right? Why don't you let the international journalists from the outside come in and do their jobs? Then they can verify everything you're saying. There's a reason that the Israeli government continues to refuse to let journalists into Gaza. It's not for their safety. You don't care about the safety of journalists because nearly 200 Palestinian journalists have been killed. I know what you're going to say. They're all Hamas. OK, that's fine. Another of the claims that can't be verified because you won't let independent journalists into verify.
Unfortunately, Piers, many of these journalists were Hamas activists, who some of them also proudly.
How many?
Many of them, dozens.
How many?
Dozens of them.
So out of the nearly 200, how many were Hamas?
Dozens were part.
Well, how many were
dozens
Hamas?
of them. Dozens of them were part of Hamas.
Okay.
Many of them were Hamas.
Right.
Many of them were
so you
Hamas.
see what you're doing
Some
again.
of them
you see what you're doing again, right?
Abdallah El-Jamal,
You're implying
Ismail
they're all
El-Gol.
Hamas.
These people came.
All the hospitals are Hamas. All the journalists are Hamas. Everything's Hamas. Every death that happens is Hamas's fault. Every child that's starved is Hamas's fault. Everyone who is shot in the queues for food that we've seen in the last few weeks, which is shocking to observe. Every one of those is Hamas's fault. Everything is Hamas's fault. The IDF does nothing wrong. The Israeli government does nothing wrong. And there's a reason you can say all this. There's a reason you can sit back and say all this. You don't let journalists in to do their jobs to verify what you're saying.
That's wrong.
So you can say what the hell you like, and we all just have to accept it. You see the problem?
Is that a conversation, or are you just giving a speech?
No, it's a statement. Let the journalists in to do their job. The longer you don't, the more I don't believe you.
135 journalists went into Gaza from 80 different press organizations.
Yeah,
so
they're
it's
all
not
attached with the IDF, right? They're embedded with the IDF. Yeah?
Obviously, they were embedded. You don't want them to go free and be attacked by bombardment. Okay. We are in charge of their safety.
Let me just end by asking you one more time. Can you think of any anti-Semitic thing that I've ever said?
I'm saying again.
First and foremost,
my question. I recall my tweet.
Answer my question. If you want to pour, as you did, if you want to pour hatred onto my head for being anti-Semitic, you've got to prove it.
It seems that you are very concerned from this tweet. I thought we were going to speak about Iran. I thought we were going to speak about
I'm sure you did.
general issues
I'd rather
than
talk
just
about
you.
I'd rather talk about you calling me anti-Semitic.
I said again, your choice to bring a stage with your millions of viewers to Holocaust deniers and conspiracy theorists such as Dan Bilzerian, Candace Owens,
who I challenged for their views,
to give them the
as
stage.
I challenge people on the Israeli side,
and when you bring
they
them,
say
you do not interrupt them. You treat them respectfully.
Oh, what a load of crap!
You treat them
never
respectfully.
watch my show, do you?
And
you don't think I've ever interrupted pro-Palestinian guests?
Natasha Hausdorff, amazing Natasha Hausdorff. You are treating her as a bully. You're treating her as a bully.
Really?
Harassing her later on in parties. This is very embarrassing.
Am I bullying you then?
And
am I bullying you now?
Your decision.
You think I harassed her at a party? Is that what you just said? Is that what you just said?
You went and said she wouldn't talk to me. So,
wow.
I'm saying once again.
Wow, that's quite a claim.
You are blocking.
You were there, were you? Were you there for that? Did you watch it?
You said she wouldn't talk to you.
Did you see what happened?
You were mocking her on Twitter.
I didn't harass anybody.
Did you mock her on Twitter because she didn't talk to you?
Yeah. And by the way, I've interrupted you as much as I've interrupted her. So am I bullying you, Minister?
Look, I don't care about bullying. I'm a warrior.
Am I bullying you?
Look.
Am I bullying you?
It's
yes
very
or no?
hard to talk with you.
Am I bullying you?
You are. I think you are a bully.
Oh, you're being bullied?
At the moment.
Oh, you poor thing. I hope you're okay.
It's very hard to speak.
You know
it's very hard to speak.
I'll let you go.
Okay.
I'm so sorry for your hurt feelings. I hope you're okay. It's amazing how easily bullied you all are.
Excellent.
When you're asked difficult questions, you all play the victim card. You all start saying, I'm bullying you.
No, I'm not playing the victim.
Yeah, funny enough, you didn't do that when I went after people that wouldn't condemn Hamas. You all cheered me on, didn't you? That wasn't bullying. When I was interrupting them
Piers,
and going after them, that you thought was great interrogating journalism. But the moment I come after you guys and criticise you for indefensible actions you're now doing in Gaza, suddenly I'm a bully. You see how pathetic that sounds?
You finished?
Yeah, you?
I wasn't... It's very hard to speak.
Yeah, you know what makes me laugh?
I thought...
You inspire thousands of people...
Can I say something?
You inspire thousands of people on social media to call me a Jew-hating anti-Semite.
Can I say something?
And you have the brass neck to say I'm bullying you. Honestly, grow a pair. It's pathetic.
Have you listened to this interview?
Have I? I've conducted it.
Yeah, look, it's very hard to talk.
Not really. You just have to justify why you called me anti-Semitic. You failed to do so because I've never been anti-Semitic.
Look, I
do take it personally, and I don't like it when people like you
we
just throw out
running
terms
an
like
entire interview speaking about you and your self-esteem and your inability to take any, criticism. Any criticism.
Oh, wow. Says the guy,
let's go back to
my criticism.
And let's go back to my tweet. Piers, let's go back. Piers, let's go back to my tweet. During this tweet, I said that at the beginning of the war, you were relatively fair, but then you became the main stage worldwide of Holocaust deniers who are spreading conspiracy theories against the Jewish people and the state of Israel.
You just made that up.
I do watch.
I had one person. I've had one guest.
When you brought people. And when you brought people who represent the state of Israel.
Just to be clear.
And when you brought people.
No, I'm sorry. You said something. I'm going to counter you.
Who represent the state of Israel. You don't let them speak, just like you don't letting me speak.
Dan Bilzerian is the only guest who has even attempted to cast doubt over the Holocaust, and I chewed him up like I've been doing to you. So it's complete and utter nonsense, what you've just said. Complete nonsense. And I will continue to go after people who say outrageous things which are not true, whether it's Bilzerian being a complete moron, or whether it's you inspiring people to view me as a Jew hater, because that is reprehensible. And just because I'm now more critical of your government, you should be looking at yourselves and wondering, why are people like me now more critical of you?
You can use this interview. You can use this interview to have a serious conversation regarding Iran, regarding Gaza.
Yeah, we could do, but you know what?
We were speaking about you.
No,
all this interview is about you and your self-esteem and the fact that you were insulted.
Yeah.
Because of criticism.
When you call me anti-Semitic, I take it personally. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there.
But you can go back to my tweet. I didn't say you're anti-Semitic.
Yeah.